Nottingham, a developing city in the heart of England, home to some of the most misunderstood nighttime creatures. Bats are shrouded in superstition, and populations have been threatened by human activities. There are some people who are working to save these mysterious yet amazing animals.
My name is Michael Walker. I'm a member of Nottinghamshire Bat Group. The Bat Group are a group of dedicated volunteers that promote bat conservation and welfare in the whole county, and we monitor bat numbers at many sites. Bats should be protected in Nottingham and everywhere, because their numbers have massively declined over the 20th century particularly. They're legally protected throughout Europe. Some bats species seem to be doing a little bit better now, but those baselines for which that's measured only go back to the late 1980s, and most of the decline happened before then. So we know bats are in trouble. Bats need protection. Today we're at Colwick Country Park, not far from the city of Nottingham, and today we're going to be checking some bat boxes. There are 16 bat boxes here, and we check them once a month. Bat boxes are important because they allow us to monitor bats more easily. They replicate the natural nooks and crannies that would generally be found in trees and structures, and give the bats somewhere to roost, and it also gives us an easy place to relocate the bats and record their numbers, so we can see how well they're doing and what time of year they're using the bat boxes. It gives us a good indication of how the site's being used by bats. We can do a lot more to help bats in Nottingham and everywhere. Bats, like a lot of wildlife, have struggled with what we've done to the environment in terms of tidied it up perhaps, or intensive agriculture has played its part too, but not entirely. Bats need connected habitat. They can't just live in this park, for instance, in isolation. They can perhaps roost here and they can feed here. It's a lovely park, we've got lots of wetland, bats love wetland, but they range quite long distances, so they need places to breed, they need places to winter, to hibernate, they need places to feed, and very rarely does one place provide everything they need. So they need connectivity in the landscape, which is sadly lacking.
As well as looking after the habitat that bats depend on, the Nottinghamshire Bat Group have specialist bat carers who take on the task of caring for injured bats.
My name's Alex, and I'm a member of the Nottinghamshire Bat Group, and I'm a rescuer and rehabilitator for them. The Nottinghamshire Bat Group as a whole, we've taken somewhere between 70 and 80 bats this season. The two that I'm currently looking after, both of them have been attacked by cats. One of them has a full whip tear to his wing, and the other one was bitten through her body by a cat. The majority of bats that we have come into our care have been attacked by cats. Beyond that, on a larger scale, we also have their loss of habitat, which is loss of green spaces, and then development, which defragments their natural spaces for hunting, etc. And also the fact that new builds don't cater for bats in any way, so they don't tend to have eaves, and the fact that they have UPVC soffits means that there's nowhere really for the bats to roost within the buildings. If the general public want to help bats, the number one thing, if they are cat owners, is to be keeping their cats indoors overnight. So ideally that would be from 1 hour before dusk and then all night, which will not only help bats, but it will help birds who are most vulnerable at dawn as well. If it's really, really difficult for cat owners to do that, if they can keep their cats in between 1 hour before dusk until 1 hour after dusk. That's when bats are at their most vulnerable. Other things that the general public can do is making their homes and gardens more bat friendly. So that can be putting bat boxes up on the side of their houses. There's also bat encouraging seed mixes that you can get to grow flowers to help encourage various different insects into your garden for bats to feed on. There's loads of ways of making your gardens more bat friendly, and there's loads of information on that on the Bat Conservation Trust website. If you find a grounded or injured bat, first thing to do is just assure that it's safe. If needs be, move it into a container. The container needs to have air holes in it. To pick the bat up, you need to wear gloves, and ideally just use a clean soft cloth to pick the bat up in. Put it in the container with the cloth so it's got something to hide in, and give it a shallow dish of water. The lids of milk bottles are ideal for that. And then you need to call the National Bat Helpline, which you'll find the number online, and then they will liaise with your local bat group and organise the care of the bat from there. If the bat is obviously injured, then just put it in a secure box and take it to your nearest veterinary practice straight away so that they can attend to it.